Alright, so we have a quote here from Duncan. After the Thane of Cawdor, the old Thane of Cawdor, not Macbeth, the old Thane of Cawdor rebelled against him with the King of Norway. It's clear that he had always deeply trusted the Thane of Cawdor and feels really quite let down about the whole thing. So let's have a look at this language. There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Well, there's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. What Duncan is saying here is that he couldn't read the dishonesty in the face of the Thane of Cawdor. The Thane of Cawdor pretended to be a friend, but ultimately rebelled against him and tried to kill him. So he's saying you can't look at a man's face and see what he's truly thinking. That's what Duncan has learned from this, except obviously he hasn't learned from this because then he looks at Macbeth's face, makes him Thane of Cawdor and gets killed by him. But he says you can't look a man in the face and trust him, obviously foreshadowing what happened with Macbeth later. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Now, the word gentleman, not necessarily something to zoom in on here, it's not that interesting, except he's just calls Macbeth a gentleman, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman. And that's really important because if he's just said that about Macbeth, again, it makes that link, doesn't it? Okay, that this word gentleman with connotations of honour and honesty is going to turn against him and be someone who's trying to kill him. He's just called Macbeth a gentleman. He's called the Thane of Cawdor a gentleman. We've made the link between the two. Both rebelled against him. Both were the Thane of Cawdor. Both were someone Duncan believed were honest and honourable men. On whom I built an absolute trust. Well, if we weren't clear at this point that Duncan is somewhat naive and a little bit too trusting, we've got the certainty of absolute trust. The emphasis here on Duncan's naivety, that he truly, truly believed the Thane of Cawdor was a good chap, right up until the point he rebelled against him. Loads of quotations there in the link quotation box that link to this idea of lying, false face, etc., that you get this theme of deception throughout the play Macbeth.